Hey everybody, what is up? Happy Friday. Hope everybody is doing stellarly good. Stellarly a word? I don't know. Looks like we got a nice little crowd forming. We've been off for the last couple of weeks, so it's great to be back. And actually, I think it's been 3 weeks since we did a stream. Has it been? Is it 2 or 3 weeks? I don't know. You guys tell me. Glad that everybody is here. We're going to be talking tonight about some fun stuff. And I got one and only Jurassic Dave 93 with me this evening. Dave, how's it going?
Hey everyone, hey Victoria, how's it going? I'm doing pretty good over here. It's end of summer wrapping up. I got some pretty nice weather where I'm at here.
Nice. Is stellarly a word? Do you know?
It is now.
I feel
You
like
said
I
it.
should. I feel like I should know, right? But yeah, I like it.
Definitely heard that
We'll
before, I
adopt
think.
it. Okay, we'll
Nice.
adopt it. Yes. So looks like we got a nice little group of friends that are hanging out with us so far. Let's take a look here. We got Paul in the house. Paul, how's it
Hey
going? Good to
Paul.
see you. We got Tim. Tim, how is it going? Thanks for joining us. I love the little vintage Star Wars picture there. We got Jason. Jason, how are you doing? Good to see you. Jacob is with us. Hi, Jacob. We got Lego Eric. How are you doing, Lego Eric? We got Jurassic Dave. I didn't know he was here.
Oh, hey, I know him.
I didn't know he was joining us tonight. We got Britt. Hey, Britt, how you doing? Good to see you. Peak Obi-Wan is with us this evening. Good to see you, Peak Obi-Wan. We got Mary. Mary, how are you doing? Good to see you as always. We got Dodgson in the house. Be careful, Dodgson's around. Hide your Barbasol
Look
cans.
out.
Yep. We got Thule in the house. How's it going? Got the lightsaber there. Very nice. We got Shark God. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I see that right there with the, yeah, cool, shark. And LBT Electric. All right. So good to see everybody who is with us this evening so far. Yeah, I have had quite a week. I am very tired. I am like, I don't know if I look tired, but I am dead tired right now.
No,
But
look
I
good.
thank you. But no, I definitely wanted to make sure we did this week because it's fun. It's good, like
Oh
Friday
yeah.
night, like stress relief.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, how you been, Dave? Have you added anything new to the collection?
A couple things. It's been a little slow the last couple weeks. I have a big bad toy store pile of loot on the way, but let's see. I did bring some stuff out. I found this at a Walmart today in person. Don't have Echo yet.
Mm-hmm.
Finally picked him up. Had him on pre-order a couple places and didn't ship out yet. And just some other things. What else did I get? Oh, I got some stuff on sale a couple weeks ago. I added this again with the new face on the Rogue One here.
Nice.
And I finally got Omega on sale before it ever even showed up for my pre-orders. So now I got the whole Bad Batch crew.
Sweet.
And that's really about it. A little light on things past maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
Omega. Very nice, very nice. And yeah, I've gotten quite a few things in. Unfortunately, I don't have anything really handy to like show, but I have gotten some stuff in. I'm looking around to see if there's anything sitting around, but I don't think there is. It's on the other room. But yeah, I had a pile of loot come in today from Big Bad Toy Store, and there's some really neat stuff. I'll have to put it on Instagram because there's something really exciting that I'm super excited about actually that came in. It's not Jurassic, it's not Star Wars, but it's totally, something that I love. And yeah, there's a lot shipping out. Pre-orders are getting filled. The Vintage Collection, Jurassic. Yeah, there's so much that's been coming in. I'm like, slow down. They spread these pre-orders out over a period of like 9 months, and then they decided, let's just ship them all out in July and August of 2022. So now I'm like I see like, oh, your order has shipped. I'm like,
yeah. Well, they got like a couple different waves fulfilling at the same time now, right? That's just a little odd.
Yeah, so there for the Vintage Collection has been insane. So the last wave, the Obi-Wan Kenobi wave was like in late June, early July. That started coming out. And then Walmart or Target rather got their exclusive. Um, I gotta look over there. I can't think anymore. Target got their exclusive Costco Reeves and Miggs Mayfield in the
Mm-hmm.
Imperial disguise. They got that. Started shipping those like 2 weeks ago. The retro collection Chewbacca has been shipping. Um, the fan channel, the Death Trooper 4 pack is shipping. The fan channel, the gaming greats, they have the Battlefront to like the or no, it's the Force Unleashed Stormtrooper Commander. That's just started shipping. The Jedi Fallen Order Stormtrooper Heavy Assault Trooper with the big gun that just started
Mm-hmm.
shipping. I got both of those in this week. Um, yeah, and the latest wave of the vintage collection with the with Din Djarin in his Imperial disguise, and I forget who else is in the wave. I'm sure somebody can tell me. That wave is shipping, and I had ordered 2 cases of that because they only packed one per case of certain characters that were really
Mm-hmm.
important characters, like the 300, like Ahsoka's 332nd Clone Troopers, for example.
Mm-hmm.
They were in that wave. So then I go and I ordered even more of them separately, and all of that is processing and shipping. And I'm like, slow down, give me a
Yeah.
break. I want this stuff, right? I want it, but it's like, I need a break. Give me a break. And everything is just totally shipping right now. It's
Yeah,
insane.
hopefully we're at that point where we get back to normal, where it's every couple months as opposed to everything at once. But we kind of did go through a slow period there these past few months, I guess.
Yeah, spring was definitely a little, other than Jurassic, the spring was pretty slow. Um, but yeah, and that's the other thing. I have a tendency to pre-order something from like Amazon, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toys,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm like, let's see who gets it first. Then I'll cancel the pre-orders. At least
Yeah.
that's my intent. And then I'm like, oh, I forgot to cancel the Entertainment Earth order for that dinosaur I got a month ago,
Uh-huh.
and then it ships. So it's like, you can't catch a break here. It's just nonstop. It's nonstop.
Yeah. I mean, I've been going to a couple Walmarts looking for some Jurassic stuff. That plane set with what's her name from Dominion, and I can't find anything anywhere. I've seen some of is the newest wave vintage collection with Obi-Wan. I've seen that a couple times at Target.
Yeah, but the wave after that now is processing and shipping out. So it's like, yeah, it's weird. We never get vintage collection like 2 waves like a month apart. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
just unheard of. Like complete full waves. Plus all the other stuff I mentioned, the gaming greats, the exclusives, like all that stuff is processing at the same time. And Shop Disney got in the Droid Depot. I'm sure you saw on social media. They got in like the new Halloween droid for this
Mm-hmm.
year. They got in the Cassian Andor thing. It's called like B2MO. Got him or her, and they also got the 4 pack that has like the 4 like Halloween droids. So it's like everything at once. Everything at once. Yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully leave some for the rest of the year, Hasbro.
Yep. Leave some for the rest of the year, or give us a break, and then it'll be like, oh, Victoria, my husband, you know what? You haven't been buying any toys. That's awesome. I've been trying so hard. Um,
Yeah.
so let's see what's going on here in the chat. So we got Dodgson saying that. Can't wait to talk about Hammond Collection. Love to hear you guys' opinions about Jurassic NFTs. Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure. Be right back. I'm going to change my YouTube. You do that, Shark God. You do what you got to do. If you don't want to be Shark God anymore, you want to be Lizard Man 29. We'll support you. Paul says, I'm still optimistic about my big bad toy store Captain Rex. Yeah, that one was a bummer. That's something we can talk about too. The cancellations that happened. That was really, I know a lot of people are upset, and rightfully so. That's I had a couple of Rexes on pre-order too, because I only have one, which
Mm-hmm.
it's obviously better than none, but it's such a good figure, and it's like it's Captain Rex. It's the kind like I wish I had gotten an extra before, because it's just the kind you kind of want to carry around with you and like take for photography and stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah, same. I only have the one, and I never got a second one. But that's a
yeah,
bummer because I know that one was so hard to get when it first came out. Was that 2018 or something?
yeah. Are those
Yeah.
posters new that you have? I don't remember seeing the
Yeah, I
Batman.
cleaned today and I hung up some new stuff. I rearranged. I changed
Nice.
some shelves around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Awesome. They look great. I love the Batman. That's cool.
Yeah, thanks. I've had that a really long time. I just pulled that out of the attic today. It used to be up at my old house and thought I would hang it back up.
Very nice. Pico B1 says, got my TVC figure in Dan. So excited among the other TVC stuff. Yeah. And the Black Series ones are shipping to that wave. So like the figure in Dan that has all the instruments, or no, it's like I forget the name. It's not figure in Dan in Black Series. The deluxe one that has all the instruments that ships from Pulse. Like I just got that one. Nolan Shield, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna need to build out like 6 or 7 of those too, and I'm not like at $25 a pop. I'm like, oh, but hey, that's what we do. It's fun. Britt says the package count is getting crazy. My sanity is being questioned by loved ones. Yeah, that's my husband's like, you get a package every day. You realize that? I'm like, no, I don't. And if I do it, that doesn't mean it's a toy. It probably
Mm-hmm.
is, but
There's
it could be.
necessities, the bare necessities.
Yeah, things that get us by. BBTS has hit me like 6 times this past month so far. Yeah, they sure will. Zombie Field is back. Cool, welcome back. He's not Shark God anymore. Britt says Leia's lightsaber shipping early. Yes, that's another thing. So I had that one on pre-order, Leia's elite lightsaber, and I canceled it because $300. Like it's like all this other stuff's processing. I said no,
Mm-hmm.
I need a break. Maybe I'll go back and get that later. And I always say, my advice is always don't wait, because if you wait, you risk it selling out and you risk it going up in price. And if it's gone, you're going to pay double in the secondary market for anything, really. And my advice is always buy it now. But again, things are just processing like crazy. So when it comes to like a lightsaber like that, I'm like, I'm gonna wait. I'll risk it this time.
Yeah, but that's just being responsible. Everything, not only toys, are going up in price, and I've
Yeah.
changed a little bit of the things that I buy. I'm not a completist anymore with the Jurassic stuff, and I wait. Sometimes I haven't been placing as many pre-orders on the Star Wars stuff, so that's nice. But yeah, where you can save, and it's a good time to just look around and tell yourself, what do I really want to collect? What do I really want to have?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been thinking about that too, because I mean, I like everything. I like Star Wars and
Mm-hmm.
Jurassic. Those are like my two big focuses. But I also like Batman. I like Ninja Turtles. I like Ghostbusters. I mean, I like different things. But I can scale back on certain things, or I can. Honestly, I should have. I wish, everybody that I know it's in this awesome toy community is spread out. Like, I wish that there was a way to do a garage sale, but you could just get all your online friends and they could somehow or another just teleport to your house
Yeah.
and help you to thin out. Because, if I were to set up a garage sale here at my house, like, people are going to come that aren't toy collectors and aren't going to know what's what. And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
why is that figure $100? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
well, because it's a
I'll
great
give you
figure.
five.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wish there was an easier way to do that. I am thinking about setting up an Instagram account, like a separate like VC Instagram account specifically for
Mm-hmm.
like sales,
Mm-hmm.
and selling stuff. So I may do that if anybody has feedback on that in the comments, because I really do need to thin out the collection a bit, because I don't have a huge house, and everything is the walls are closing in, the toys are closing in,
Yeah.
so.
Mm-hmm.
Paul agrees everything is coming. Peak Obi-Wan completely sucked into micro collection. Dave, are you collecting the micro collection?
No, I mean, within the chat that we're in, though, I enjoy seeing everyone's pictures of them. They look so cool, and I've seen like one or two at Target, I think, and they look great. But I don't, I can't get everything. I'm not sure how I would display something like that, but I got to buy other toys too for my kids, so got to pass
Mhm.
on some things.
Yeah, they do look fun. They look like a blast. And I have not bought a single micro collection thing because it's that thing what you were saying, like prioritizing, focusing. And I know that if I start buying those, it's just going to become a thing, So um, I haven't. And the whole thing where there's like chase versions, I'm like, yeah, I'm too old for that kind of thing.
Hmm.
So The one that I will get though, okay, possibly two. I really want the Republic gunship because I love the gunship. Like anything gunship, I like. So I think I'm gonna get that. And maybe the Falcon. The Falcon, just like the level of weathering they put on it, looks really good for what it
Yeah.
is. So I may do those two and just not do anything else. But as of yet, I haven't bought any micro collections. So, I'm a little proud of myself for that reason because there's a lot of people that are partaking in that line. It looks great and I'm happy for them. And, a lot of people are really having a blast with it. Dan O from the Dano channel is doing reviews on them and he's having a good time with them. But, you know, priorities, right? Got to prioritize.
Yeah.
Paul has a good suggestion. Hopefully they put Rex in the archive line. I wonder why they haven't done that. I mean, that's what that is for. It's for those older, harder to find characters. And Rex is, I think you could consider Rex almost a main character in like Clone Wars, especially towards the end of Clone Wars. So I really don't see why he's not hasn't been done that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people in the chat agreeing with that sentiment too. Jacob says, I'm the same way. I'm not a completist. I go after what I like. I wish I was like that. But certain things like TVC, obviously I'm a completist. Black Series, I used to be. I'm kind of a little like if they release something that's brand new sculpt, like brand new, I'll probably get in on it. But if it's like something like with Archive, it's like the same Lando or Dengar, the 10th like Han Solo that that's been released since 2013. Like I'll be like, I don't know about that.
I'm kind of getting suckered in the Black Series with these archive releases and updates on the face printing and stuff. I said I wouldn't do it on all of them, and I've passed on some of them, but I am going back, and I guess I have to get bays yet to complete my Rogue One because I have the original ones. I picked up at like a Five Below, but the paint is not good on the.
I have if you need those, I have an extra, and they're still new in the box. Bays, and I have Jin. If you need either of those,
I have. Yeah, I actually could never bring myself to buy Jin and Cassian.
She looks so much.
So bad, and
Jin
I found
looks so much better.
Yeah, so great, and the new one. I got that one. I don't know, 2-3 months ago, and man, I could tell you how many times I had the original in my hand, and I even saw it as low as $2, and I couldn't even pull the trigger.
Yeah, they really overshipped that one in 2016. Which I was thinking about it earlier today. Actually, I was like, "Gosh, 2016 Rogue One came out." It's like, man, time flies.
Are you gonna go see it again in the theater?
I don't. It is showing, but it's not like in a nearby theater. It's
Okay.
showing a little bit up north. So I mean, maybe, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. I'm not sure yet. Jason, too many plastic eyes watching you, following you, judging you. Yep. Yep, they do that. Dinosaur or human or alien, like they're all doing that. Like, I know I showed you this yesterday, but like, for example, I just bought this really, really out of the blue for me. It's not because the alien's blue, but this Fortnite alien in a little flying saucer.
That's so cool.
Yeah. It's like totally not the kind of thing I would buy normally, but it's like he's dressed like the Men in Black, and he's an alien, and he's got a belief sign.
Out of the 90s, it just looks cool.
Yeah, and they did. There was a line called, I think, Shadow Box Collectibles or Shadow Box Collectibles, and they made a line of static 0 POA alien figurines, and they used to sell them like in specialty shops and shopping malls, and they're pretty cool. They still hold up. I remember my brother bought one day, back then in the 90s when they were selling them. And this was during that time where like the mid to late 90s when like aliens were like all the rage, UFOs and the X-Files and the Phoenix Lights and all that stuff. So, the aliens were just popular. Independence Day, Men in Black, like, so. But yeah, there's not enough like great like alien figures. And I was like, I got to buy that. I got to have that. It doesn't matter that it's Fortnite. I got to have it. Never bought a Fortnite toy before, but now I have.
Nice.
So, Gradius Ship Pilot, hello. Open my Obi-Wan Retro. I think it might be the best one. So I haven't gone that wave yet, so I'm not sure. I hope it does. Please, Entertainment Nerd, don't process that next week. Give me some time. Gosh.
It's usually not how it works. I know. It's always like, no, not this week, and then they all.
And it's
pilot.
always like, and for the last like year and a half or 2 years, it's been like, gosh, I wish they would finally ship those toys. I've been waiting. I'm sitting on nothing in the last 2 months. I haven't gotten anything, and then all of a sudden, it's like, here you go,
Hmm.
take it, and be happy. Um, Thoughts on TVC and Darhan being only partially new? Yeah, that's really frustrating. If I mean that is a figure that main character deserves 100% classic trilogy character to be reworked from the ground up. I'm not sure why that would just be retooled, partially new. So I hope they end up fixing that, whatever it is. Yeah, so let's talk a little more about those cancellations, Dave. So this was earlier in the week, and I know that Nerd Zoic, who's been here on Social Hour before, and great channel.
Yeah.
He sells toys. He started selling like Hasbro Star Wars like a year ago or something like that. And I know he's been having a hard time with the whole like requirements of being a retailer for Hasbro, and then this happens. Like you have all these pre-orders that people have invested into your business, and then you can't fulfill them because the manufacturer has just suddenly decided out of the blue that they're not going to make them.
Yeah, especially in his circumstance, I did watch his video, and it's getting some insight into the business. If you're one of those smaller businesses, I guess that's not large, where you could just place a pre-order and not pay till it ships. The problem with the smaller businesses is they have to take your money up front, so they have some cash flow to actually be able to order the product. And so that what in his case, he had taken people's money for all these canceled products. Had invested the money into buying other products, for his business, and then they get canceled, and then he needs to refund the money. And yeah, it's a bummer. I don't understand a whole lot about that side of it, of the buying and the selling. But it's just a bummer that Hasbro would offer this product for purchase and then pull it back. And I don't, like I said, I don't really know a whole lot about it. Maybe it has something to do with the switch over to the new packaging or something else. Maybe they're going to put them in some sort of other line, like an archive line, like we talked about earlier. But it's just a real bummer for everyone who missed out as the consumer, and especially for the small businesses that are trying to make a go of it.
Yeah, it's hard to put in like to explain. I mean, I did hear that rumor too that maybe they were looking at the new packaging as being the reason, but I mean that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because you're talking about like money that has to go into redesigning the packaging.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's no reason they should need to do that for a reissue, that doesn't fall under, I don't think, the criteria of packet plastic I can't even talk, plastic free packaging. Like that's like something that already exists. You're just doing an additional production run. So I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. I'm more inclined to think it's they're making a lot of new product and they're competing with other companies that are using the same factories to put these products out, and maybe something with the scheduling just didn't work out and they had to prioritize something over these other things getting put back out there. So I'm kind of more inclined to think it was something like that, something that we'll never know the details of. But yeah, it's still unfortunate because the Stormtrooper Black series, that's a great figure.
Yeah.
Rex, the Bad Batch, that's kind of still a thing, right? Season 2's coming. And then a lot of TVC figures too, like Boba Fett. It's another popular one that they were going to put back into
Mm-hmm.
print. So it's a lot of frustration. But again, like I say, when something comes out, get it, because it's better to have it and end up saying, "Hey, later I can sell it," than it is to not have and have to pay double or triple on the secondary market. So don't wait. And I think
Yeah.
if more people tried to buy the things when they were out the first time, I think there'd be less need for these secondary runs anyway. Um,
Yeah, and I would say, well, my advice, like I am not a completist by far on Black Series, but don't go crazy. Don't pay eBay prices now just because your order got canceled. It will come back around. Just have patience if it takes 5 years. I missed Force Awakens Han first time around, and now that's coming back in the archive line with the better face. I
mhm.
missed Thrawn a couple times, and I got that just last year in the archive line. So it'll come back. Most of them will come back in some way. That's the nice thing about Hasbro. Even their convention exclusives make it their way into the line. It's just not something you really have to worry about with them. So,
Mhm.
don't freak out. Be patient. Collecting is a long game. It's not about getting
Yeah.
everything right now. So,
Yeah, and I think it's hard to, like that sounds like great. That's great advice. If you're a new collector and you've been doing this for 6 months, a year, 2 years, you haven't seen like the ins and outs of this, like you haven't like seen the patterns and the processes and the way that that often does happen. What you're saying, things getting repacked and reissued at some point. So absolutely be patient. Don't feed into eBay unless it's something like from like 10 years ago. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, you got to go to eBay
yeah.
for that. But like if it's something recent that stands a good chance of getting repacked, then yeah, definitely don't feed the eBay monster, because that just perpetuates that cycle of scalping.
Yeah, well, we're talking Hasbro Star Wars. They're still dipping into vintage collection and 10-year-old figures, right? They're coming back out. They still dip back into those first two runs of Black Series and update the face sculpts and stuff, maybe add new parts or just straight release. The Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett has been released how many times? That's the sculpt that they're doing the all black Boba Fett now, right? They'll release stuff that's old over and over and over again. So Hasbro Star Wars, don't fret, don't pay eBay prices. Even the Cara Dunes, they came down eventually after a while, and some of them made their way back out. I don't think that one will ever get released again, but
No,
it was a little crazy there what
it
people
was.
were spending.
Yeah, and they canceled the production runs of those figures because they had intended to like make more and more, but
Hmm.
it was the same thing as the only difference is they did actually make a few of those. There were Cara Dunes that made their way out. Did you get the group chat thing too?
Yeah, I got it on
I
my
saw you. I
computer
heard
and
it.
my watch, and
Yeah, I just heard it, and then I saw you look at your watch. So I'm like, I know what that is. Yeah. There we go again. Um, yeah. So yeah, be patient, hang in there, and yeah, collecting is a long game, like you're saying. And if you've done it long enough, you see the patterns and you see how things tend to work. So definitely hang in there. Hang in there. I can't imagine they're not going to re-release that wreck somehow anyway. So um, very cool. So what else? I know there was something else we wanted to was okay. So let's shift over to Jurassic for a bit here. So somebody asked earlier about the Hammond collection and the is it non-fungible tokens, to have it right?
yes. And
The
don't ask me.
NFTs.
I'm just too old, I guess. I don't. I guess it is a token that is not replicatable. If that's a word, I said it. um,
Replicable? Is it? I don't
yes,
know.
it's not.
I'm tired.
You cannot reproduce it like a JPEG or something like that. It's its own unique thing, and I guess Mattel is offering them to anyone that buys a Hammond collection figure on Target or through Target, I believe. Is that correct? I think.
Yes, as I understand it, that is
And
correct.
I don't know. I kind of saw in the video they had like a website that came up, and I tried to search it, and I don't think it was up as of the announcement on the day of the Behind the Gates. I haven't checked since then. I think I found a URL, but no website was up yet. But yeah, I mean, look at physical things. I like things. I don't care about something digital that I need a screen to look at. So, let us
Yeah,
know in the chats if you're, maybe a younger person who's into that, and let us know why, because it's intriguing. I'll learn about it. But
yeah,
at the
no,
moment, I'm not that into it.
me neither. I'm a '90s kid. Like these NFTs, like that's yeah, that's like over my head. Like I even like to like I couldn't even really explain like what it is, and right. So I had to ask earlier in the week, as like what, like how does it work? Like what, like that's just like a whole other like thing. Like okay, yeah, I like plastic things that I can hold in my hand and manipulate and pose and rearrange. Like can't do that with something. And it's the same thing for like the Jurassic Facts app. Like it's cool that it
Hmm.
exists, but I don't even scan most of the dinosaurs in. I don't look at it really. So I just like having the dinosaurs in my hand.
Hmm.
And so
Yeah, exactly. I even do you get anxiety like I do, even if I've been purchasing video games or digital copies of film, and if I don't have the physical thing, it just kind of makes me a little bit anxiety, like, oh, do I want to do this? I got
Yeah,
very upset when the laptops switched over, got rid of the disk drives, and I'm like, oh, what if I want to own something? So, not my personality style, I don't think,
right.
to not actually be able to hold something.
Yeah, I've gotten better about it. But yeah, like when they stopped making like when music pretty much went digital and like people stopped buying CDs, like I mean,
Hmm.
I still will buy a CD if it's like a brand new thing from somebody I like really 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 like. Um, and the same for Blu-ray discs. Like, there's no way I would not buy like Jurassic World Dominion, for example. There's like
Hmm.
no way I would not buy whatever the latest Star Wars movie is. There's no way I would not buy like anything that I'm really like I love. And even if I can just click a few buttons and stream it, I'll do that. But I still want to own the actual
Hmm.
disc.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like that. I'm like that with if I really, really like it, I like to, if I can, buy a album on vinyl and then have the digital download to put on my phone or whatnot. And it took me a long time to come around to the streaming of music. I do stream a lot of stuff on Spotify now, and you kind of have to when you have kids. But yeah, I was that person. I was like, I'm never gonna rent my music or whatever. And guess I'll come around eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have gotten better with it for sure. Like, it's nice to have it there in the phone. It's nice to have it just, hit a button on the Apple TV and watch something. But I'll still do that. But I got to have the thing. What if the internet goes out?
Hmm.
I won't be able to access that. If I have it downloaded, maybe. But um, yeah, it's just it is what it is. New York kids probably don't really care about that stuff. But
No.
let's see. Out of the Basement is with us.
Oh,
Hello,
hey guys.
physical media superiority. Gotta love my
Yeah.
Blu-rays. Most deaf. Master of Puppets. How's it going? Good to see you. He just says Dino. Okay, we'll take it. We will take it. Britt says, with HBO Max the way it is, that anxiety is quite justified.
Yeah, I have not bought the Batman yet, and I'm a big, that's my favorite streaming service is HBO Max, and I've watched the Batman a bunch of times since it's been on there, and I keep looking at that 4K disc every time I'm at Target, and I'm like, I should buy that because they're probably gonna pull that film at some point.
Hmm.
But yeah, I got to do that. Yeah, and then
Yeah, that
once you have it, and then they can't take it away. Like if you download something on a Apple Store or something like that, they always have the right to yank it, to pull it. You don't actually really own something if you don't physically own it.
right. Yeah, that's true. It's a good point. Jay King says Hasbro talking on both sides by supporting NFTs while talking about ditching plastic packaging. So I don't know what Hasbro has said about NFTs. I haven't really, again, like been following that. Um, but yeah, I know that from what I understand, I mean, I have a very rudimentary idea about NFTs, but from what I've heard, they are not great for the environment either. So even though they're
I
digital,
I'm ignorant to. Could you explain it to me? I don't understand that part of it.
yeah, I don't think I'm qualified. But yeah, I mean the little bits that I've heard, and maybe somebody here in the chat can clarify, are that they require a lot of like energy resources, like kind of like Bitcoin. Requires a
Okay.
lot of like the servers are just require like so much energy and release so much into the atmosphere, because of the power consumption. Something
Okay.
along those lines where they just require a lot of like energy to produce for whatever reason. Again,
That
I'm
makes
not an
sense.
expert. That's just kind of what I've gotten the gist of from the little bits that I've heard. Yeah, and it kind of sounds like I don't see anybody saying I love NFTs. J. King Toy Companies messing with NFTs is really dumb. Britt says if there's anything toy collectors love, it's stuff we can't physically hold in our hands or pose on our shelves.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I thought. It was just,
Yeah,
Chris makes this beautiful presentation to show you the beautiful product that you can hold in your hands and how wonderful it looks and the way the paint is, and you can hold it, you can smell it, and it was just like, and now a special word from Mattel. Here's a thing that you can't actually touch or hold, or it's
yeah,
bizarre. It's a little tone deaf, like who are you, you know, who was this for, right?
right. Um, July July through November. Okay. I wonder if that's a good period. The current generation seems to not be very into stuff in a physical sense, at least not to the degree previous generations were. I mean, I can kind of see that. I mean, I know with like video games and stuff, you're just using a device. Most kids have cell phones, even little kids, and they have tablets. And um, I know like my like nieces and nephews are still into like toys. They're still into having like things that they can carry around with them. Um, but yeah, I mean, is it to the extent as it was before? No, probably not, because I think the toy industry would look different if it was the way it was in the 80s and 90s. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with my kids, I see that the digital things and the phones and stuff and streaming is just as important, equally as important as the physical toy. But I can tell that the sentimental like part of it is just not there. Like it's just everything is on equal ground. The physical toy is the same as the app or the game to them. They all have the equal importance to them. Yeah, and I think our generation as parents, or my generation, I think we spend more money and get more things for our kids than my parents got for me. So that maybe it'd be what's driving the industry right now. I know I'm getting a lot of things, and toys are favorite toys, or they're not favorite toys very long. Not the way that I looked at things when I was a kid.
Yeah, for sure. The basement says digital libraries come and go. Streaming services losing their rights and are adding, deleting things from their
Yeah,
service. Cable censoring out certain parts of films. Love physical. Yep. Yep. If you own it, like you said, Dave, you own it, right? If it's just something that you're accessing on an app, it can come and go. But if
yeah.
you have
Just
that
make
hard
sure
copy,
your player is not connected to the internet, because then they can stop you.
um, and yes, J King says they were offering their own Transformer related NFTs earlier this year. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know Hasbro was doing that. That's annoying. Um, yeah, I guess it's a bit like Bitcoin mining. And if what? It's resumers.
Is that what we're calling the Gen Y, Gen Z?
I guess. Christine just joined in. What did I miss? So okay, so we've talked about NFTs. We've talked about Hasbro canceling a bunch of pre-orders. We've talked a little bit about acquisitions to our collection. We've talked about how so many things are processing and shipping from different companies right now and how it's like overwhelming us. So we've covered a good bit of ground here. And we're only 37 minutes into it. What will we talk about next? All right. So I want to talk about Batman for a minute because I saw your poster a little bit ago, Dave. So I'm sure you may have heard a little bit. What's going on with all this stuff with WB Warner Brothers and the DCEU and
Oh yeah, I've been following that. I guess they want to create their own DC cinematic universe akin to what Marvel has going on. I guess for the second time they've tried this already. It failed. In case you didn't realize. So the new head has been coming in and saying they're not going to release any uh, films or anything that they don't believe is up to the standard of what he says it would be good or whatnot. So they ended up canceling the Batgirl, I guess. Actually had Michael Keaton reprising his role as Batman in it. Totally shelved the movie, even though it cost $90 million to make. I guess they're going to have a tax write-off or something at the end of the year. They have other things going on. The Flash is going through some turmoil here, even though that's totally done, ready to release. We've got the Ezra Miller stuff going on, and what they're doing is not so good for PR and stuff like that. So it's quite murky, I guess, what's going on with Warner Brothers right now. We don't know if we're getting any more Superman films with Henry Cavill, if he's ever going to come back or not. Looks like we're going to get Black Adam and the new Shazam 2. That's really about it for now. And there's even rumors of the Batman 2, the Robert Pattinson film, maybe possibly not happening, even though I think that's a little overblown. But it's just it looked like they were starting to get their things together, with their standalone films with like the Joker and Joker 2 coming out. And now it
Yeah.
looks like they're just starting over from square zero. Doesn't know
Yeah,
what
I
they want to
don't.
do.
Yeah, and that's the whole trouble of it. I think since Marvel, so successfully created this big integrated, you know, common universe for all these films, they've been kind of chasing that formula, and they tried it with Justice League, and instead of properly building up to that, they just did Justice League. And there was Batman v Superman, there was a Man of Steel, but then they just went just like Wonder Woman, then Justice League, and Justice League was terrible. And they kept on like tweaking things to try and like keep up with Marvel, and it was never going to be able to do that because it's just, I mean, firstly, you can't recreate what another studio is doing because you don't have those people, you don't have like, all the planning. I mean, that was something that took forever to plan before even Iron Man came out
Mm-hmm.
in 2008. Like there was a lot of work that went into establishing that, and so just trying to like rip it off basically, even though DC obviously is its own like self-contained like comics universe, and perfectly like suitable for movies, like just trying to like cash in like that and produce like a lot of these movies which were just pretty inferior. Like, I've not been the biggest. I'm generally more of a DC person than a Marvel person overall. I prefer Batman's my favorite superhero. I'd prefer to watch the DC, generally speaking, over Marvel. I love both, but with this DCEU, that's not the case for me at all. I'd prefer to watch the Marvel movies because it's just it. I just haven't been able to like Ben Affleck just has not like grown on me as Batman at all. Like it doesn't matter how many times I see him as Batman. Does he look good physically? Yes, of course, but that's just like they didn't do it properly. Like Robert Pattinson, perfect. I want more of that. Keep doing that because that's Batman for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it needs to be. It doesn't need to cross over with Aquaman or Superman or anything like that. Just do its own thing. I think when they really focus, like Wonder Woman was fantastic too, the first one. I think when they really focus on just these self-contained stories, that's when you see them do the best stuff. The Dark Knight trilogy, um, the Batman, Wonder Woman, um, they really went all in on those and just making them be their own like fantastic like films. And if you just focus on those and not worry about connecting to all these other things, I think you can do that later. But it's just they keep trying to do something different. Now they have this new CEO, I guess that's trying to like rearrange things. And what I heard about the Batman was that it's still on tap for a trilogy, but
Mm-hmm.
that they were trying really hard to, or the new CEO was trying really hard to make it part of the DCEU, and Matt Reeves didn't want to do that, which rightfully so. You shouldn't do that. It should be
Mm-hmm.
its own thing. That's why it's so great because it's not part of that other thing that's terrible.
Yeah.
Um, so I really hope we do get the second and the third one. From what I also heard though was that not even the second one was officially greenlit. I think that was in Variety. I read that. So I don't know if that's the case or not. The first one was fantastic. It's amazing. It's like one of the things I loved about it was that, I've never been at an age in my life where I was the same age as like the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And like, this is the first time in my life where I have that. I was always like, a younger kid, like looking up to the Batman, but now I'm like at the same age as the Batman. So that was a really cool thing that I appreciated about it. But, yeah, I hope they figure it out, and I hope they don't try and screw up what's working, because what's working, is doing really well, and the things that aren't working, they're just trying to like mess with it even more, and it just needs to be left in the past. To be honest, I don't think you need to. I think that DCU stuff, once the Flash is out, once Aquaman 2 is out, I think it's probably better just let that be in the past and just kind of work on
Yeah.
building these unique stories, going forward.
Yeah, I
Rent ever.
agree. I thought we were past that. It would have been nice if maybe 5, 10 years ago they would have tried to build their universe better, starting with Man of Steel, and just go slow like MCU did. There was origin films for like 4 different heroes, and they just tried to cram it all in with the second film there, the Batman versus Superman. Did not work. I was happy that they got to where they were, that they kind of, okay, they carved out their own niche area of just films that don't connect. You can have two Jokers, you can have two Batmans, whatever, just telling comic book stories. And now with this new CEO, Zasloff or something, I guess his name is,
Yeah,
it's like they're
Zaslav.
going backwards. It just feels like it's muddying what they were doing already. What will be part of this universe, what won't. It looks like we were on track with Joker and Shazam, and now the Batman, and just things. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I just hope if they do, it's easier said than done. You can say you want your own MCU. You want your own Kevin Feige, but those are really talented people that are doing something that's never been done before, and it's not as easy said than done.
Yeah.
So
For Henry,
hopefully they just
mhm,
keep doing what works.
totally. And yeah, Jake, he brings up a good point here. Even if Batgirl is as bad as Zaslav claimed it was, it's too bad there won't be more Keaton, because even though he is in the Flash, more Keaton is better. And yeah, like Michael Keaton is my Batman, because always has been, always will be, because that was one of the first movies I saw in the theater. I remember seeing it in the movie theater, and like it was awesome. And I loved the Dark Knight trilogy. I love the Batman, but I love Michael Keaton as Batman. Like he's Batman for me. And I'm glad we're gonna see him in the Flash, but I was hoping we were gonna see more of him. So I'm really bummed about that. And um, I hope they get their act together, because yeah, it's a
Yeah,
mess, and it,
I
it
was super
shouldn't be.
excited when they announced that he was coming back. And they announced that he was going to be like a Nick Fury type character in the DC. Pulling the strings of the heroes, bringing them together, and I was like, yeah, give me some of that. And I'm just really worried that something goes wrong with the Flash and we don't see him at all. That would just be travesty to me. I really want to see him back.
Yeah,
You've seen some of these the leaked photos from Batgirl, and I think the one costume photo from Flash, and it looks amazing. I'm still hoping for a Batman Beyond movie where he's old Bruce Wayne. That would just be amazing.
yeah, that would be perfect. That's what have been wanting to see for a long time.
Yeah,
Is that would be perfect, because it's its own self-contained thing. It draws back to it connects to the previous, from the 90s films. But then you get Michael Keaton, you get a new young Batman, and yeah, that would have been awesome. I wish they would have done that already, but
yeah.
I guess they had all these other ideas and then some, apparently. And Henry Cavill, from what I've heard, is that he just wants like a lot of money to come back, and that's part of the reason he hasn't come back. So
Yeah, well, he deserves it, I think. And like you said, I think I'm a more of a DC person. I'm not really a comic book reader, never was, but growing up in the '90s, I was into all the DC cartoons,
mhm.
Batman, Batman Beyond, Justice League Unlimited. I just like those characters better. But right
Yeah,
now, MCU is just doing it better, and it's more enjoyable to watch the MCU and the way that they're portraying their characters on
yeah,
screen. I was not into the 90s Marvel cartoons. I'm going back now and I can see how good they are, watching them with my kids. But at the time, I was not into X-Men or Spider-Man or any of those 90s ones. But I was happy with where they were going, and hopeful that they're just going to do these standalone films. And I hope it works out, what they're doing. And I hope I hope we see some good DC stuff in theaters.
for sure, for sure. Well, rant over for DC.
We're done. Yeah.
Um, let's see, where can we go next?
Did you I recently picked up the McFarlane superpowers. I got Superman and Batman.
Somebody
And
made a comment about that. Yeah, Peak Obi-Wan. Are you collecting the superpowers line? So you are collecting it.
I only have those two. I haven't bought any of the vehicles, or I guess what's out now is Green Lantern and Darkseid. They
Yeah.
just reminded me of stuff that I had when I was a kid. I did not have the Kenner superpowers. but I think that Superman looks a lot like the Toy Biz Superman that I had when I was growing up. And when I was a kid, it was Adam West Batman. That was all that there was. And the blue and the gray Batman, anything like that, I just love. So I picked that up.
Yeah. Yeah, like black outfit Batman really wasn't a thing until like Batman '89.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and I don't remember what I saw first, the classic TV series or the '89 film, but they would have been around the same time when I saw the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it looks cool. I mean, my only thing is it's McFarlane, um, but I
They're not
mean,
the highest quality toys that you can buy, but they're still fun. You know, I've bought a
among other
few of them.
reasons,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, but maybe I'll check them out. I mean, they're the kind of thing I would normally like, right? They're like throwback line. It's a throwback line that, goes back to, the 80s, and it's the kind of thing I would normally be into. And, I know that like some of the figures that they retooled for like the Kenner line, or even the Toy Biz line, I think, had adapted some of the superpowers line. Like the Penguin and the Batman Returns line was like the same as the superpowers Penguin with different coloring.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a lot of similarities to with the actual Batman figures, like just the way that they're like constructed and stuff, engineered. So maybe I don't want to
They're
commit to
fun, but
those.
they don't have the superpowers part of it. Even though they're called superpowers, there's no action feature. They're just a figure.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if they could do the fist pumping and
Yeah,
fighting things. But
I want more 4-inch figures from the Batman, honestly. Like we got like that one first like wave, and then like the repaints, and like, but I want like more figures from that movie, because we don't have Riddler 4-inch, I don't know if you were buying those, Dave, but
I did not buy them. I picked them up on clearance just a couple weeks ago. Got like the whole wave for like $2 a figure at
oh wow.
Target. But yeah, they're fun. My kids like those.
Yeah, I bought all of it, the whole line, the play set, like I don't know if we can really call it the Bat Cave, but the play set like that. The Batmobile. There's like two versions of the motorcycle repainted, and Selena Kyle's motorcycle. So I mean, they did a good job with it. But there's more room for like more figures and stuff. So I doubt we're going to see that until the next movie anyway. But I wouldn't mind, having the Riddler. It's like, where's the Riddler? Like, why don't we have the Riddler in the scale?
Yeah, and I don't know. It goes back to the rant we just went on. Kids today growing up, they're the most popular superheroes are Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk. The whole first Avengers team. And when we were growing up, it was Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. And I think it's just a shame that they were always the biggest superheroes and they're not anymore. So get your act together, DC. The better you can do, the more toys you can sell, and Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman is going to be making a lot of money in the toy aisle.
Yeah, for sure. July through November says, at this point, I'll buy almost anything 3¾ 4-inch. It's a beautiful scale. Something about a mini human at that size just looks so charming. Yeah. I happen to have, and I know this is 4.5 inch. That's a little bit bigger than this, July through November, but I just happen to have Robert Muldoon right here on the desk right
Nice.
now. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, it is. It's perfect. I mean, not a knock on larger figures. I collect 6-inch stuff, and I have Hot Toys, but like this is like, it's very manageable. You can have a bunch of them at this size, and they're fun to display and pose and rearrange, and they don't take up a lot of space. It is a great scale. So it's too bad that that's mostly gone, right? There's not a whole lot in that scale, but at least there's a couple companies that are still doing it. Mattel, the Batman stuff I was just talking about, and then Star Wars. Yep. Cool. What else is on your mind?
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. Cleaned the
Too bad.
cleaned the whole office today, except for one shelf. I just got tired and I stopped, but
It looks
should have
good.
done
Like
it like
you're
2 months ago. Getting some dust laying on the shelf looks gross.
I
But
need to I need
yeah.
to do I need to put in some time into my collection room. I just haven't had the time, but I would love to have the time to sit down and or not sit down, but like rework some of these displays because I've added more to the collection since I last um did the shelves, and I need to get stuff on the shelf, but that means I need to boot some stuff from the shelf and then need to be
Hmm.
packed up, and so it's
Yeah, I demoted the Amber collection down to almost the ground on the bottom shelf, and I packed some of them away. I got rid of anything that wasn't Jurassic Park Amber collection, so Owen and Blue and the Raptor squad gone.
Claire gone.
Yeah, the many Claires that we've gotten, they're all gone.
I still can't believe they didn't do an Amber collection, Claire. What the heck?
Yeah,
What the heck,
we
Mattel?
got so right. Owen was the only human from the new trilogy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
Need
like
more need more women. They're doing good in the. I'm really happy with what they're doing with these like multi packs and getting the women and all the characters in general into the line. It's a lot better, than I guess it was like 2019. I was so scared that all the figures would go away, but they're doing good. It's all right.
yeah, yeah. It's gotten better. It still could be much better though. So
Mm.
yeah. Oh, anyway. Brittany says extended cut, or is it too early? So I have not seen it yet.
Oh
I came
no,
in, I got the Blu-ray in yesterday. Hear that? I got the Blu-ray. I bought the actual physical thing. I got
nice.
the Blu-ray, the Steelbook. I got it yesterday, so I'm gonna either watch it tonight or I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. But I'm definitely gonna watch it in the next couple of days. And yeah, I'm excited for it. I've been trying to avoid spoilers as best I can. So um, I've been pretty successful for the most part, with some exception, because some people on Twitter can be jerks sometimes.
Yeah,
Um, but
yeah,
yeah,
I've seen it the day it came out. We watched it, me and the kids, and no spoilers or anything. I think the beginning of the film, the pacing has changed a little bit. Has a little bit more time to breathe, a little bit more character development. There's some scenes at the end that add a little bit to it, maybe in my opinion weren't necessary. It's already a long enough film. I don't think it felt any longer, even with all those scenes in, even though it obviously was longer. But yeah, it doesn't change my opinion of the film overall. Still feels like the same film, but added some things to it. It was nice.
cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I like Ed's comment here. He says maybe McFarlane is giving advice to whoever was in charge of the Amber collection.
Probably cut from the
Yeah,
same cloth. Yeah.
yeah. Look out for those guys. They'll do that. You know, there's a lot to be said for it. A lot of these companies, I know that NECA certainly does not have any women working for them in the like toy design area. McFarlane, probably the same case. And, I think that's part of it. If you have more representation within your organization, then you're going to be more likely, I think, to have influence from those people and produce a more well-rounded and representative toy line. And I think that's part of the issue, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I keep seeing comments about Hammond collection. So people want to hear about Hammond collection. Okay, let's talk about Hammond collection.
All right.
So yeah, so this week, our friend Chris over at Jurassic Outpost, they got this collaboration going with Target and Universal, where they're announcing, through Behind the Gates, which you can watch on YouTube or on Target's website, the new reveals for Target exclusives as they come out. And this week they revealed officially. We had already seen them, but they revealed officially the Dilophosaurus and Ellie Sattler. And these are the two latest entries into the Hammond collection. Neither of which are that surprising, because we had already seen them. They were at Comic-Con. I saw them in person, and the photos have been out like for a while that these are coming. But were you excited for these?
Yeah, I'm excited to get them. It wasn't exciting seeing the reveal. Great work that Chris did over there. I love the videos. They're so high quality and such attention to detail. And we really get the best looks that I think we get before we're having them in our own hands through Beyond the Gates. But like you said, it wasn't a surprise. It was at Comic Con, and yeah, pretty excited for the Dilophosaurus because it'll probably be the best Dilophosaurus in that
Yeah,
scale. The Ellie, looks all right. We already have a legacy Ellie. I think it gets the job done. But there's a lot of accessories that come with it. Yeah, I'm always excited to get anything Jurassic Park. So yeah, I'm like real excited for
sure.
them.
Yeah, it's finally getting its due after the last 20 years, like Mattel's really ramped things up, and it's nice that I mean, like you said, we have in the Legacy collection, we had an Ellie Sattler, we had most of these main characters, but now there's the Hammond collection. It looks pretty good.
Hmm.
I still believe that Mattel struggles with humans. That was very apparent in the Amber
Hmm.
collection. That is very apparent even with the Hammond collection. Like the Ellie, it's not terrible, but I always like to joke, it looks like she's got cankles for wrists. And that's not just Ellie, like Malcolm is like that, Dr. Grant is like that. They just haven't really nailed the proportions of human figures. And I know some people are saying, well, it's because, at that scale you can break something. Well, no, I mean, Hasbro does a pretty good job these days with
Yeah,
TVC. They look very realistically proportioned. So I don't think it's that. I just think they have some work to do before they, really nail those figures. But yeah, it's cool that she's back. I like the leaf. I think that's what I'm most excited
yeah.
for is the leaf. And Dilophosaurus, yeah, that too. I'm a little disappointed it doesn't have like the white striping on it.
Hmm.
I was watching the Behind the Gates episode, which great. Chris does an amazing job. But they kept saying, how Mattel kept saying in that video that they looked at all these references and stuff, but it's still missing those very iconic white stripes that even the Kenner version had. So
Hmm.
I'm a little disappointed about that.
Yeah, that's just I think that's Mattel for you. They get so close, but they don't ever get all the way. I don't think, in my opinion, a lot of things. But it's good enough. It's not as good as the Amber, which it probably shouldn't be. It's in the smaller scale. But yeah, you're right. Hasbro can do it in vintage collection. Some of those vintage collection figures look better than the Black Series in the smaller scale. So
Yeah.
yeah, work on it because it's nice that they give us the detachable arms and everything for humans in Hammond collection, but the proportions are really weird and it does not look like a human wrist, and the arms and forearms are weird. They look, very stylized or cartoonish or something.
Yeah, that's true. So there's a comment here about what is the newest Hammond Triceratops. I can. Do you have yours handy, Dave? I
It's
have mine
still
over
in
there.
the
I can.
box. It's right here, but I
All right,
didn't open anything yet.
I'm gonna grab mine real quick because
Yeah,
I do have that. Let me grab it real quick.
it looks great from everything that I've seen, but still sort of looks like a Mattel, with the rounded back and stuff, But it looks really good on the as everything does in the Hammond collection with the paint and everything.
Right. So it's this right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Do I think it's perfect? No, I don't. I feel like it looks like it's smiling, kind of,
Hmm.
but because it has that seam. It's just a really weird place to put a seam. But yeah, it's obviously the best Triceratops that's ever existed in this Jurassic Park like
No,
line
this
ever.
is the best, the
Oh,
best.
sorry, I forgot about that one. I forgot about that one. Yeah, yeah, no, it's good, and yeah, I love it. If yeah, it's great. I have no problems with it.
Yeah, I was
Just
putting off opening a lot of my Hammond stuff until I got everything cleaned up in here and stuff. So I got everything on the shelf right now over here. But I will open them as soon as I, feel like it.
yep. Um, So Ed says, anyone want Hammond collection vehicles? And then Holland says, don't we already have vehicles? So we do have vehicles. We don't have Hammond collection vehicles, but we have vehicles. There's a lot of vehicles going back to 2018 from Fallen Kingdom. There's some now from Dominion that maybe are kind of sort of from Dominion, but kind of aren't. There's the one that I call the stupid truck because it's so weird and wacky, but it's so good. It's so good. It's such a fun toy. Um, and yeah, in Legacy Collection, we got the Jungle Explorer, we got the Jeep, we got the stripeless Jeep that belongs to Nedry.
Hmm.
We've gone quite a few vehicles. I don't want to see them put resources to like redoing those because they're fine. I'm good with them.
Hmm.
I don't need them to redo the Jungle Explorer. Now, if they want to do like the other numbered Jungle Explorer, then fine. They can that I'll take because you need to have both, right?
Oh
But
yeah,
I don't
any of the numbers, any of the Jeeps we released them. We only
the
got
Jeeps
18.
too.
Give us
Hmm.
29. You
Yeah,
know, if they want to retool, not retool, but just put the pieces on for like 10. You know, give us them.
yeah,
Yeah, one thing that I thought was one of the best things to come out of the original launch back in 2018 with the Mattel line was the Matchbox diecast Jeep, the JP29, that looked like it was from Jurassic World, I believe. And if they could do something like that, bring that line back with the Matchbox, give us a diecast, something that actually works with the figures, because I know the 3 3/4 inch figures did not fit in the seats. And the detail on that is just like amazing. If we could get, if Jada or someone could give us a 1/18 scale
yeah.
uh, vehicle, and a Jungle Explorer or whatever, that I would take, because as good as Mattel is, it's not 100%. You're gonna have to do some customizing on the Explorer to get it to look
Right.
more film accurate, and same with the Jeep. But it's close enough. But if,
Yeah.
if they would bring that Matchbox line back and give us some more diecast, I would be all for that.
Right. Like the first Jeeps were missing the spare tire, they were
Hmm.
missing the side mirrors. So yeah, I mean there's definitely some things that could be better. Maybe if they perfected what they already have rather than go back and do like a whole new version. I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with seeing like an updated Jeep that's maybe a little bit better. Maybe has a little bit of dirt on it or something.
Yeah,
Um
if they want to put in a legacy vehicle, just update it in with Hammond collection packaging, and just make sure they have all the white lettering on the tires, a spare on the Jeep, and the paint where it belongs. I'd be all for that, and that wouldn't cost a whole lot. That would just be, extra premium on the product that they already have the tooling for everything.
mhm, yeah. I've been getting all kinds of weird species from Mattel too, like this guy, Ichthyovenator.
Cool.
Yeah,
I
a bunch
haven't
of
I have
weird.
not got that yet.
Look at the coloring. It's like so like 90s, like neon bright. I've been getting all kinds of weird like Mattel's really going into the weird like territory I
Hmm.
think lately. I'm getting all kinds of weird species from them, but I guess it makes sense. They've already done all the mains, right? All the
Yeah.
well-known dinosaurs. Well, they haven't. Yeah, they've done pretty much everything. So I mean, it kind of makes sense at this point. Um, I guess what I want to end on is just because I have it right. I don't know what it is. I've been really thinking about this toy a lot. And I just pulled it out from the closet the other day and I don't know. I just rekindled my love for this toy. And I posted it on social media the other day and said, is this the greatest Jurassic Park toy of all time? And I think it may be. I every time I look at it, I just feel like a little kid again.
Yeah.
It's
Awesome.
amazing. Yeah. It's just so special. Like
It is.
and
It really is.
I'll tell the story again in case anyone missed it, but this is the first Jurassic Park toy I ever bought. And I remember the day that I went, it was weeks after the movie came out, weeks after I'd seen the movie, and it was at Target. They had on the shelf Kenner Jurassic Park. I had never seen the toy line. I didn't know that the toy line even existed. I had a bunch of dinosaurs, but the dinosaurs we had before this toy line like were nothing like this toy line. And I saw it and it was like love at first sight. And I told my mom, like, how can I get this? I know it's not my birthday. I know it's Christmas is still like several months away. What can I do to get this? And she said, well, if you're okay with doing extra chores to work it off, I'll get it. And I said, yeah, for sure. I'll do the chores. I just got to have this dinosaur. And I just like fell in love with it. It is amazing. It's a work of art.
It
It's
is.
got
Yeah, it's so good.
the sculpting, the real feel skin. I mean, look at the sculpting.
Oh
They
yeah.
just don't do anything like that anymore. And they didn't before it existed either. So it's just like, yeah, To me, it's the greatest Jurassic Park toy ever made. I love the Red Rex. I think when you think about the grand scheme of things, like the Red Rex for me is equally significant.
Hmm.
You know, I got that from my grandmother for Christmas that same year, and it was the big one that everybody wanted. But like this is like, even though it's young T Rex, which isn't even in the movie, it's in the book, it's not in the movie.
Hmm.
It's still like a beautiful size. It's like perfect. The I'll just grab him since he's right here. Like a human figure, he's still quite a bit bigger than a human
Yeah.
figure. You know, it's a good size, and the dino damage and everything. And you know, I kept my boxes for these too. Even as a
Hmm.
little kid, I was like, I'm not getting rid of these boxes. They're cool.
They were
They're
beautiful. Yeah, you
cool.
can't get rid
Yeah.
of them.
So yeah, I just kind of rekindled my romance with this with
Oh,
this
it's so
young
cool.
T-Rex. It
And
is amazing.
all the
Nothing.
repaints they did of it were totally justified because the sculpt is amazing. It
Yeah.
just really looks like Stan Winston esque, like, just even more so than the Red Rex. It just looks like something that would be in the movie.
Yeah, and it stands up
Hmm.
perfectly. It's never had a problem. And you know, I think you could say that about pretty much any Kenner Jurassic Park toy. They stand without any fuss. Like they just stand, and they're great at doing that. And that's all they really need to do is just, they do have the articulation in some parts, but all they really need to do is just stand there and look beautiful, and
Yeah.
that's all it is. Coloring too beats the Red Rex, I would say.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I commented on your post earlier this week, but that was my T-Rex in my Jurassic Park when I was a kid for years until The Lost World came out. I never had the Red Rex as a kid. That was the T-Rex, and until I got the bull T-Rex from The Lost World, that was the only one I had, and it
Hmm.
worked. It didn't
Yeah,
need the sound. It's very simple. The real feel skin, and you can still bend its neck and get articulation where there is none.
yeah.
It's beautiful. It's the paint from nose to tail, the sculpting, the attention to detail from nose to tail. It really is, like you said, a piece of art.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. If I could pick one like dinosaur toy to be buried with, it would be that.
Yeah.
It would totally be that one. Sorry, dinosaur. I know you don't want that, but and Nick here makes a good comment. If you could draw that memory, it'd be awesome to see what those toy aisles look like. I could still see it in my head.
Yeah.
When I saw this young T Rex, they had two of them on the shelf, but that was it. There weren't any other Jurassic Park toys. And I think it was because they were just getting them in, and they got those first for whatever reason, and there were two on the shelf. And then I remember going back later, and then they had an end cap that had all the human figures. It had the smaller figures like Dimetrodon, Pteranodon, Velociraptor, Dilophosaurus, like that whole first wave. And then at the very bottom, they had like the bigger ones like Stegosaurus, Triceratops, young T Rex. And same with Walmart. I remember going to Walmart, and that's where I saw the Red Rex for the first time. And I didn't know it existed, but I saw it there for the first time, and it was there on the end cap. There were like some big ones, and I remember adult collectors at that point, 1993, were there like ogling them and like, whoa, what is this? Like
That's
50-year-old dudes, yeah. And yeah, and then after that, well, everything made it into the main aisles. I could still see it in my head. I could still visualize like those figures hanging on the pegs, like by the dozen. It was
that's
amazing.
cool.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember, honestly, I don't remember Jurassic Park that well. I remember The Lost World when that came out, and probably, like, I don't know if I just wasn't allowed to like spend that much time in toy aisles at that age, but for me, the first like big memories that I have, and I can remember what everything looked like, was Power of the Force in '95, and just seeing, X-wings and Millennium Falcons on the bottom shelf, and just like the pegs and pegs and pegs of Luke and Han and stuff, and just the red saber and the green saber boxes and stuff. So that's like
Mm.
probably my like first, when I just really could just go into the toy aisle myself and just look at everything and didn't have a parent with me. But yeah, so I don't remember a ton of Jurassic Park stuff other than Series 2 when that came out the next year. I
Hmm.
remember those boxes a lot better in my mind. I just had to have Timmy, the yellow shirt Tim, and just I think I remember seeing the Demon Carnotaur in box and just being like, that's goofy. I don't want that. As valuable as
Yeah,
that's become now. But
my
yeah, I
brother.
remember the Series 2. But my first big toy line I think was Power of the Force 2 for Star Wars.
Yeah, my brother had the Carnotaurus. He got it for Christmas, I think the following year, because it was series 2. It didn't come out till like a while later.
Mm,
And I don't remember it ever being a common like thing. I don't remember seeing it very often, but I do remember seeing the Utah Raptor, the series 2. I saw it at
mhm,
KB Toys, like in the window. It was there in the window. They had it, and I was like, oh, that wasn't in the movie, but it's cool. Neither was the Stegosaurus, right? But it was still cool that it existed. And it's a really crazy looking Stegosaurus, but it's still beautiful. Like, it still
mhm.
beats like anything else. So
Yeah, that's funny. That KB Toys, that's where I was hanging out, getting all that stuff. And the mall where we lived, actually, they had moved the KB Toys like at the time that Series 2 was coming out, and they were remodeling the store. And we would go to the mall a lot, and I would stop, and you could actually look in the window. It felt like for weeks. I don't know how long it actually was, and I would just stare at that end cap with the Series 2 Jurassic Park stuff. And I was like, I want Timmy, just look at it every time I would come by until the store actually opened up. And I ran in there, and that was the first one that I got. But yeah, like I said, it felt like weeks, and I don't know how long it actually was. It could have been like a day or two, seeing the product stocked there. But yeah, good times.
yeah, great times for sure. Cool. Well, this has been fun. It's been fun
Yeah.
reminiscing and talking about Batman, DC, and why Warner Brothers sucks. And that's harsh. They don't suck, but they make some really weird decisions. And pre-orders and cancellations and walking down memory lane. I'm sure if our friend Tom was here, we would have taken it into supernatural territory.
We didn't
But
get there tonight. Next time.
next time for sure. But yeah, thanks so much for coming on and hanging out with me this Friday evening. It's been a blast.
Well, thanks for having me on. I've had a lot of fun. I'm going to sleep well tonight and think of toys and dream about them.
Yes, those are the best dreams.
Yeah.
Except when you get to the store and what you're looking for is gone or taken by somebody else. That's terrible.
Mm-hmm. Nightmares.
Um, usually it's stuff that doesn't even exist when it's me dreaming of toys. It's like stuff that doesn't even exist, but it's like in the dream, it's like there. Oh, cool. Where can our friends hanging out with us go to look you up on the internet?
Um, Check me out Instagram, Twitter, yeah, YouTube, Jurassic Dave 93. You can comment on anything that I have or direct message me about anything we talked about tonight or anything you might think that I have an opinion about. I'd be glad to talk to you.
Awesome. Well, hey, Dave, it's been a blast. Thanks again for hanging out. Thanks to everybody in the chat. We really appreciate you hanging out with us and making this even more fun for us. We get a lot of the same names in here, and that's always great to see. We appreciate you spending your time with us and having fun. That's what it's all about, having fun and enjoying. So happy Friday. Enjoy, everybody, your weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks, everyone. See ya.
All right. Bye, everybody.